All right, let's go up here and see what we got in the boatboard.com cooler. Yeah, that's right. We got America's favorite catfish bait, and that's chicken. Beautiful fall morning. I got out here a little bit late this morning. Sun's already up. Gonna be doing some trolling for some catfish. Water temperatures are down into the 70s. It's not cold yet. It's chilly in the morning, and we're gonna see what we get on to. Talk about a little bit of fall catfish. All right, got a selection of Catfish Pro rods here. Just some nice healthy chunks of chicken. Trying to match the hook to the bait size. We're just gonna scatter these babies out. These are the Dragon Fire rods. I've got some of their regular, the older tournament series rods too. The original Catfish Pro rods. A good little mix of them around here. One of them's got a big old rig on it from a big old perch head that I had on there from another trip, but I gotta swap that rig out. Remember, match your hook to your bait, not to the size fish that you're dreaming about catching. Always go with some smaller chunks of bait. You don't need great big huge ones. There's about a 50% chance there's a fish on this outside planer board. I think he may be there. I got a hit a little bit ago. The board was kind of moving, and I sat there and waited, and I said, you know, let me go check the bait. Right before I got up to get it, I saw it twitch again. There's a chance there may be a reluctant catfish on here. A reluctant bite. That's a bad sign. I like to see rods get slammed over. I had one a minute ago. Rod kind of got pecked at. Checked it, didn't get hooked up. It's a sign of what I call a reluctant bite. It's like they're just in that opportunistic feeding mode. Not that you can't catch catfish when that happens, but sometimes they're just not feeding heavy. When they're feeding heavy, man, they're hitting baits and slamming them, and it's like good fishing. But sometimes it's like that, and it can be frustrating. Just have to be patient. A lot of times it's just it ain't feeding time yet, and it can just happen later in the day. So sometimes if you got the chance to fish longer, it can get better. But we'll see. Let's see if this one's on. Feels like a fish. Yep, nice little fish. Little blue. This one might be getting a knife. Yeah, I think I may take a couple home. Man, I cooked some the other day, and they was good. One's a little bit small. I may let him go. We'll see. Tell you what, I'll chunk him in the live well. It's the best thing to do. If I end up catching several eaters, he'll get the knife. If not, let him go. Yeah, one of the things we've had going on here in the southeast this fall so far has been very stable weather. No hurricanes, no tropical storms, no big influxes of water, no rising rivers, none of that stuff. It's been a calm fall, and I think that creates a dynamic to where fish just kind of are doing their thing. Nothing is really sparking anything weather-wise, and I think they get into cycles. I mean, I think it's just a feed cycle. They're going to eat every few hours, depending. This isn't all fish, you know, lake or river wide, but in an area you're fishing, I think stuff happens for a little while, and then it may start to wane. Then they'll feed a few hours, almost tidal. So that's my theory on it. That's what I seem to see, you know, during the phase we just passed, where we had a bright moon. It seemed like there was a, you know, you had a window where they were biting really good when the moon came up. Middle of the day bite was kind of decent, but it wasn't really sparked. So that kind of is what it is. It's fishing, and what happens is fishing. So today I'm just trolling, man. I'm trolling some areas. Our thermocline's pretty much gone now. Our water temperature dropped enough, and I'm just trying to find some fish, seeing if they're up in some of the river channels, creek channels, or if they're up on the flats, and kind of picking them off in some different places the past few days. We'll see how that holds true today. There's about a 50% chance there's one on this outside. That one there looks like it's got a fish on it. I'm going to this one first. That looked like more of a leaning toward a bite. That outside planer board, this rod right here, one of the older Catfish Pro rods, there may be a fish on it. This one has a fish. It started to go. This is the newer Catfish Pro rod. This one's straight out the back. These other ones on planer boards. And not a giant, but it may be an eater. Get enough eaters to clean, it's worth cooking. So it is a Saturday. We do have some college football on today. It may be worth, that's a good size one there to eat. Boom, got him. Nice channel cat. Good eater size fish. Simmer, 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 sassy, simmer. Simmer. What I'll do is I'll throw 2 or 3 of these in a live well. Once I get about 2 or 3 of them, I'll throw them on ice. What I like to do is put my catfish on ice so that they are dead when I get home. It makes cleaning them a lot easier. This one's gill hooked. There we go, got the hook out of them. Get them in a live well. Good one to eat. What I'm gonna do is get this one baited back up real quick. Again, not huge pieces of bait. I'm gonna get it out, and then we're gonna check this outside planer to see what we got on it, if their fish indeed was on there. That one out, boom, smooth as butter. Hit the outside planer. Yep, there's a fish. What I'll do is I'll let the inside planer go on back. So you can get him behind it there. Doing a little dance here with the boards. There we go. If you're gonna use planer boards, my suggestion is start out with one on each side. And then from there, as you get used to putting them out, deploying them, all that kind of stuff, you can add more. I fish 4, 2 lines straight back, then 2 boards on each side. Seems to be a good combination for what I do. And both these bites were similar to what I was saying about the reluctant bite. Now granted, these are not big fish, but these are medium action rods. You would think we'd get a little more of a slam out of them, but I think it's opportunistic feeding is what we have going on. So I'm not gonna complain. Happy to have them. Blessed to catch some. Blessed to put a little food on the table. Take them. That one's knocked that one in gear. All chicken. All chicken. I've been running guy trips recently split between chicken and cut bait, and the chicken has one every trip. That's another good eater size. We will be sticking the knife in some fish today. And so I decided, let's just do a little recon and go all chicken, get something to eat. 2 back-to-back hooked up virtually at the same time. I think that outside one had a fish on first, but then that one hit. Sometimes, you've heard me say it before, action brings action, and you get a fish that hits and takes a bait, and man, it's like some other rods will go off. It's I think there's, you know, an electrical signal that basically these fish send out through the lateral line, or they sense the movement, and I think that's what will make reluctant fish bite. And I think that's what we got today, somewhat of a reluctant bite. That happens, but we picked off fish. Listen, sometimes we get a little bit greedy out here. We want it better to be better than it is. I've caught 3 fish, and probably what amounts to about an hour of fishing and maybe a third of a mile on a troll. So in the whole scheme of things, they're not 20, 30 pound fish, but I've caught a couple fish. And again, you got to kind of keep this in perspective. There's people that sit on the bank all day, multiple days. I get emails from them and text messages from you guys all the time, and you can't catch fish. And man, that happens. It depends where you fish at. It's tough. It's you know, so I don't take for granted that, you know, we're catching fish. They're not giants, but I'm happy to catch some fish. So try to keep it in perspective. But again, covering water helps. You know, that's the advantage you have in a boat. Bank fishing, you're gonna have to let patience play out. You're gonna have to let patience work to your advantage. And that's why I always say early and late, I think, is the best time, but fish when you can. If the only time you can get out there is the middle of the day, go fish then. There are some days when middle of the day is gonna produce fish. And fall is a time when, you know, it's not as harsh as summer. It's hot to begin with, There's a lot of UV light. Fish may be going deeper later on in the day because the bait's going deeper. You know, there's a lot of complicating factors there, oxygen, all that kind of stuff. But you get out here in fall, it's a lot better water. So we're gonna keep going through here, see if we can pick us off maybe one or two more for the fryer. Oh, might have a little nibbler. We got us a nibbler, another nibbler. They nibbling on the bait. They nibbling. See what we got here. See what we got. I think it's another eater. I think I'm gonna have enough to eat now. I think it's gonna be worth the effort. That one popped off. Nope, he's still there. There's actually something going on my perch rod behind me. I just seen it out of the corner of my eye. Maybe we're in a hot spot. I don't know. We'll see. This is a smaller channel too. At least he's hooked good. I got one back here on my perch rod too. That one's perfect size to eat. May have one on the outside rod there. If you're gonna clean one, you might as well clean three. Put that one in there. See what we got here. See what this is. See what we got here. Little Abu Garcia. Spinner. Oh, perch. We got some bait. Got some bait. We'll take that all day long. I'd like to have a few of these just for the old bait bucket. Need some of those. Get that back in the water. Boom. Net gain on bait. All right, guys. Inside planer board. I think we hooked up. That one a little better bite. Nothing super great. We're happy to have it though, man. It's not bad fishing. We're catching fish. I ain't gonna complain. I ain't gonna complain. Beautiful fall morning. Beautiful, absolutely beautiful. What's our water temperatures at? 78 this morning. So we've got, let me tighten that drag up a little bit. It's not super cold. It's not super warm like it was. It's gonna trend lower and lower. We've got nighttime temperatures now that dip into the 50s. We're still getting the 70s, maybe 80s during the day. So it's keeping it right there in that average temperature range. And for the season, like I said, everything's been stable this year. Shake that head, shake that head. Probably a channel cat. Everything's been stable this year so far. That could all change in an instant. We'll see if we start getting some, I'd say another channel. We got some channel catfish to eat, folks. I think I'm gonna go ahead and take these to the ice. Get it on ice. Might as well start icing the ones we got. I'll tell you why in a minute. Pow, a catfish on one side of the boat and a perch on the other side. The perch rig's just a little double hook high-low rig. I've got red worms on it just to see what's in here, see if there's any perch around. The red worms worked good a couple weeks ago on a guide trip. Man, we smoked the fish on red worms. It beat out minnows, which was interesting. Sometimes the white perch do that. I'm not sure why, but they key in on those things. And anyway, got them out just to see what we can get hit on. Again, another channel catfish, not a crazy slam bite, but he's hooked up. So I don't know where the medium-sized blues are. We've noticed that the past few trips. It's not that they're not here. It's just for some reason they ain't feeding a lot. So it is what it is. But yeah, it's they're here. You know, it's picking at them. We're picking at some fish. It's typical fall fishing, something to keep you happy. I don't know if you can see that over that way, but there's some actual deer right on the edge of the water, standing in the water, eating some stuff off some limbs. That's pretty cool. It's one of the beautiful things about being out here in the morning, especially in the summertime when it's not, or in the fall when it's not crazy like the summertime. Boat traffic, you get to experience some of that. Calming for the nerves, calming for the soul. It's good for you to be out here. One tip I will give you on using chicken, check your baits. This one got hit earlier. There may be a fish on it. I'll usually give them, I don't know, a few minutes if it's chicken, just in case it's a fish that is reluctant, which we've got those today. This one kind of went earlier, but I'm gonna check it, and it's pulling like there's a fish or something. Could be a stick, could be a limb, but feels like there's something on it. We'll see. Let's just check another one. Did not have bait on it. So one thing about chicken, it's not as bad as using chicken liver, but even chicken breast, they hit the back of a bait, it can pull it off. And that's something you just need to be wary of. I give them a, you know, I'll check everything about every 30 minutes if I'm making a big long pull like this, because sometimes you just can't tell. You just can't tell if you're getting hit, and or if you get tied up with another fish. There is a fish on here, by the way. Oh, another eater. We're gonna have plenty to eat. Well worth cleaning them today. We are on the channel cats. I don't know where the blues are. They're not here, so talk about that in a minute. Let's get this one on ice. Number 6. One thing I meant to tell you from earlier was talking about putting them on ice. I put them on ice so that when I get back, they're dead. It also forces the blood to pool up more in the organs. People get into talking about bleeding these fish and cutting gills and draining the blood, and it's just, I don't know, it can be, depending on where you're doing it, it can be a mess. So I just put them on ice. Again, it draws that blood into the organs, and you got to fillet them. You got some nice clean white meat, so that's why I do that. But as far as the blues and where they're at, I don't know. We've hit these streaks to where it's we're just not catching the eater size fish, and it could be time of day, maybe. It could be where we're at. It could be they're just not active. You will get these streaks. You've heard me talk about it before. You'll start catching these fish and they got mud on them, and that's usually a sign they've been inactive for a while. And it happens. We don't really know what the reason is, but it happens. Someplace on the lake, there's fish feeding, there's fish eating, and they will eat. They're just not as active. It's not a crazy bite. So the good news is there, as I've said many times, bad bites don't last forever. Good bites don't either, but bad bites don't either. So that's where you just have to kind of stay at it and stay with it. And you know, we're lucky in this fishery. Even when the big fish fishing is slow, we can still catch, you know, a lot of times some channel cats like we're catching today. Get plenty to eat, and you know, plenty to enjoy. And even if you're not keeping them and eating them, it's just, you know, it's fun, entertaining fishing. Oh, is there something on this inside planer? This thing made a move. We got near some of those docks. It ain't falling over like it normally does. I don't know if there's a fish on this or not. Let's take a look and see. Get this planer board off of here. By the way, if you want a good guide, call this guy. I really like him. He's a nice guy. Maybe they're pulling the fish or pulling a limb. Let's see what we got. We're walleye fishing them again. Not over stressing bringing these fish in. If they're hooked, they're hooked. Nice steady retrieve. Don't go all rod jerky on it. It's an easy way to lose fish. You don't have to horse them once they're hooked. You save that for the big fish. Boom, quick release right there at the boat. That's why you don't horse fish in. Had we done that early on, that fish could have popped off and been gone. That's why you don't put a lot of pressure on them, because it's easy to pull the hooks on them. And if you really want to get them in the boat, use a net.